Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I told you guys I would be back. You guys saw me on Instagram earlier today, but we're here on YouTube tonight, and I have a very special guest. She's very special. She has practiced law for well over 20 years as a prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. She's out of New York State, New York City. And she's one of the most respected criminal defense attorneys that I know. And she and I have been talking about this case involving rapper Tory Lanez since the beginning. And it's only fitting that I have her here tonight so we can do a deep dive into how did Tory Lanez receive this 10-year sentence. And without any further ado, I want to bring up attorney Ikiesha Al Shabazz. Ike,
what's good,
man?
Good, what's good? Thank you for that introduction, Dennis. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. I appreciate you.
I'm getting better at it.
Is there a delay? There's a delay, right? I feel like there's a delay.
Well, we had a delay before we started, but no,
probably
outside of this is sounding pretty good.
Okay.
So the internet is up in arms. I hate to use the term arms because that's how we got here. Because someone used a firearm.
Yes.
And as a result of the use of that firearm, they have received a 10-year sentence. And we're talking about Daystar Peterson, aka Tory Lanez. There's been so much happening throughout since the trial started last year. And now we are here today looking at the conclusion of the trial and sentencing at the criminal court level. What's your thoughts on the outcome today, Ikiesha?
Well, you know just as well as anybody else that I predicted that he would get 10 years, right? Can you give me that?
Yes, absolutely.
Something so that I can have it was the writing was on the wall, right? So he was facing 22 years and 8 months. That was the maximum if the judge had found two of the aggravating factors, right? And so the judge found that there was only one aggravating factor. He did not find that Tory Lanez operated in a callous manner, right? And so the judge was listening. I found that to be quite remarkable that he listened. He read 70 character letters. He had an extended sentencing hearing. And I really think this judge wanted to give him something less than 10 years.
Why do you say that?
Because he gave him the opportunity.
Okay.
Over and over again. He even asked him questions. He's like, I got to give it to you in Nike speak, right? The judge is looking at the memo. He's like, yo, you said that it's not enough evidence that he's guilty, but if he is guilty, it's because he got an alcohol problem and had some issues in his childhood. And the judge is like, I'm not really, that don't make no sense.
If it's a fifth, we'll all be drunk. Like, is he drunk? He not drunk? What's up?
And the judge asked very pointed questions at the hearing. He's like, so what is the nexus? What is the nexus between the act, the crime, and the alcoholism if he didn't commit the crime? Why should I consider that he has a problem with alcohol if he didn't do it, motherfuckers? Right? Like, what the fuck y'all trying to talk out both sides of your mouth? I'm paying attention. And this judge has been paying attention all along. And I feel, let me just say this. I feel sorry for this brother, right? I feel sorry for him because it didn't have to fucking go this way.
Right.
It didn't have to go this way, right? He didn't have to engage in this campaign of denial and deceit and trying to disparage this woman and discredit her. He should have fell on a sword a long time ago, like, baby, I'm so sorry. Listen, whatever you need, I got you. She wasn't going to go to the police. She wasn't trying to go this route. He did this shit. And his followers and his minions and the people that were constantly berating her, even during the course of this trial, refusing to accept the evidence that was right there in your face, still refusing to accept it when even after today, this young man said, I take full responsibility for my actions. The problem is, you should have fucking told your dumbass lawyers that you take responsibility for your actions so that they could have incorporated in that page, in that, what, 70 some odd page memo that they charged you per word for. They should have put that in there because contrition is a thing and the judge was looking for it.
But before we start calculating what it costs for this defense, let's look at the calculation of the defense. Because from the start where George Medicine gave his opening argument, I saw it was going downhill.
Okay,
I didn't expect that.
To me, he is George Bad Medicine.
Well, wait a minute. Did you come?
George Bad Medicine. I gotta stop. Y'all know I don't be acting. I'm an actor.
Come on, Kelsey. Don't do it. I know we're at the 9 o'clock, but so
okay.
That defense,
right. That's a long day.
Right. That told me that, I was surprised to hear that when walking in, and we take our seats. The media took their seats. We heard Alex Bott give his opening, very powerful opening, graphic, pow, 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 pow. They talk about the shot fired in the neighborhood, and it was just so powerful. I said, oh my goodness.
So we've talked about this from the beginning. One of the things that defense attorneys try to do, which is the worst thing you can do as a defense attorney, is to try to get in front of the evidence, right? You're trying to get in front of the evidence. You are actually trying to present a case. What the fuck are you doing? That is not your job. You have no burden. You have absolutely no burden. And when you start doing things like what he did, you shift the burden and you make a jury start to look for the things you promised that you cannot deliver. Right. And so the focus is now taken off of the deficiencies in the prosecution's case, and they're looking at the deficiencies in yours. You should have never done that. If we look in contrast at what happened in the YNW Melly trial, those lawyers was on it and they didn't get in front of shit.
Facts.
They sat there, they waited for every piece to come in and they tore that shit up. And what did they get? That's damn near a not guilty to me, because we take a hung as a win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the strategy was wrong from the beginning, and he knew that going in because he had a very competent attorney who said that shit is not gonna work. The Kelly defense, Sean Holly, she said it, and that was revealed during the course of the trial. So you kicked the black female attorney to the curb, who was your best bet. She was your best bet, okay? Because you have a black female victim. You need some type of connection between you and that jury, and Sean Holly would have been it.
Now imagine Sean Hawley cross-examining Megan.
She would have known. She would have known how to go about it. You know what I mean? She would have known how to go about it. But I don't even think, honestly, before we even get it, I don't think Sean Hawley would have. It wouldn't have been no trial. She would have known that there's a better way for us to resolve this.
That's right. Right?
That's right. We've got to have some. Listen, restorative justice is the thing in California. You got a cooperative victim. Megan was willing to sit down before this shit went all crazy. Maybe y'all could have got it to the table. Maybe we could have had we could have resolved this civilly. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been over. So there were other ways. Was there an offer on the table before there was a trial? Were you so cocky that you didn't consider that? I don't know. I would imagine that there was an offer on the table. I bet you was looking real good right now. Real good right now.
I mean, 6 years looking good right now. I mean, if you want to be honest. Now, absolutely. What do you think about the memorandum that was, played out in court, and through and also the multiple letters that the judge had to read, and how much impact did those letters have? Well, how much impact do you think those letters had on the outcome?
Listen, the letters can only have as much impact as you allow them as the defendant. And if you don't show up with any contrition, you have no remorse, you have no accountability, you have none of that in your 78 or some odd pages where you're trying to convince this judge that you deserve probation when you hadn't been able to comply with your bail release conditions. You couldn't even.
You make a good point there. You make a good point there. The judge didn't have a lot to work with, and I think that him, what he said towards the end, it was kind of too late, because he had opportunity to speak up well after the conviction and well before this sentencing. Through the whole motion for a new trial, we had that. That was the process.
Recuse the judge. That's ridiculous. Come on, what are we doing here? Recuse the judge.
Then you had all these attorneys coming in from Florida.
For what? For what? To charge you when the best advice would have been, hey, you need to have a coming to Jesus moment way before the day you get sentenced. So your statements today, they seem contrived.
You hear people. You hear. I was on a stream earlier on Fanbase, and someone from 1501 was on that stream, which is Megan's record label. While that person didn't chime in on my commentary, do you think Megan's career is shot, no pun intended, from being a part of this trial? Do you think she can really have a strong career after this?
I don't see why this would affect her career at all. I don't see why. Tomorrow is not a new day for Megan Thee Stallion. Live your life. What are the repercussions and ramifications of her having been a victim? I don't follow that.
And when her letter was read into the court yesterday, she basically said, this is affect her life every day. And
sure, I'm sure it affects her personally, right? Emotionally, spiritually, physically. I'm sure it affects her in that way, but it shouldn't affect her professionally so that she can't go make a living for herself. She should still be able to go in the studio and lay down some tracks and shake her ass.
And pay Essence Awards and all kind of stuff,
Work.
Well, Essence Festival, yeah,
I don't see why she wouldn't be able to do those things.
So what part do you feel first of all, I had an issue with the judge not allowing cameras in the courtroom, because I think a lot of all that public outcry and everything about the way the case is going would have probably been somewhat alleviated had there been cameras in the courtroom.
Right.
as an attorney in New York, what's your feelings about cameras in the courtroom in such a case like this? And what's the risk of having a camera in the courtroom?
Well, the risk first is for jurors, right? Unless there's a lot of understanding, make sure that the jurors aren't shown. Jurors sometimes are afraid, that they're going to be outed. That's one. But I'm a fan of cameras in a courtroom. I think it helps with accountability. I think less slick shit happens when more eyes are watching. But I think this was about managing the courtroom, I believe, for this judge, and he just wanted to manage it this way. He could have let cameras in, but I think that would have just made it more of a circus than it already was.
Really? What?
Yeah.
You watched the Melly trial. Did you think that case was a circus?
No, it doesn't seem like a circus. But again, I don't know how that judge was handling his courtroom as opposed to this. I don't know what the courtroom structures are like. I don't know how big it is. All of that matters. Do you have a place where the press is going to be, where they're going to be out of the way? I mean, people are moving around in the court, in the well, when, you got witnesses coming in and coming out. Do the witnesses want to be on camera? A lot of these things come into play when the camera's in the courtroom, but I am a fan of cameras in the courtroom. Like I said, it's, accountability. A lot of the fuck shit that I have seen would absolutely not have happened if there had been a camera in a goddamn courtroom.
Talk about it. Shout out to Georgia for allowing cameras in. We saw cameras in the Ahmaud Arbery case. We saw cameras in some of the most high profile cases. Judges have no issue in Georgia to having cameras in there. So let me ask you a question. He has a sentence. He has an opportunity to get some good time. What do you think the appeal strategy is at this point for the defense?
Don't see a lot of appealable issues. I don't see the appealable issues here. I really don't see a lot of appealable issues. I don't, because most of the mistakes that I saw were made by the defense. They were not issued. You know what I mean? These were things that were decisions that are the attorney's decision. These are decisions of strategy. And that's not an appealable issue. You're not entitled to a defense who has the best strategy. That's not what the Constitution says. You're entitled to a zealous defense. He just picked the wrong fucking one. That's not an appellate issue. I don't see it. You know what I mean? I initially thought that there might be one appellate issue, right? There was during the trial, and you can correct me, where there was an issue about Tory. If he took the stand, he would be questioned about some of his lyrics, some of his music, or something to that effect. And maybe if he decided not to take the stand because of that ruling, that might be something an appellate court is going to look at, because your right to testify on your own behalf is a constitutional right that should not be infringed, right? And if it was infringed because it had a chilling effect on you, so much so that you decided not to exercise that right, they might provide you with some relief.
Relief enough to get a new trial, or what does relief look like?
Relief would be get a new trial. That big of an error where a defendant is not afforded his opportunity to testify, that is a reversible error.
Okay.
But I don't know if the record was made for that, right? One of the things about appellate law, and trial lawyers have to be dialed into this, so that if you lose, there is an appellate record for the appellate court to look at, right? And so you have to make the arguments to the court to say, hey, judge, he wants to testify, but based on that ruling, it's having a chilling effect on his Fifth Amendment right to testify in his own defense. Maybe then the court would come back on his heels and rethink or find a more delicate balance and say, maybe, okay, you can testify. They can ask you if you've made a song about her, but they can't ask you about the lyrics, right? Something like that, right? There's a way that you could balance it where, everybody ain't gonna be happy, but where the defendant still gets his day in court, he still gets to testify, but he is not beaten down by whatever proclivity a juror might take from his lyrics, right? That whatever propensity, whatever action a juror might say, oh, he said that? Well, he must have did that, right? And that's the danger of allowing in that type of evidence, right? And so,
isn't that a strategy?
And I don't want to be giving all this shit away because ain't nobody fucking pay me for the appellate appeal. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Isn't that a strategy? A trial attorney strategy, a decision, and putting your client on, and knowing that could possibly be something that could come out. I mean, they showed the tattoo, the gun tattoo.
Right.
How damaging do you think that would be for you? You having a lineup in front of the jury.
I think that's along the same lines as allowing in the music or the tattoo imagery, anything like that chills a defendant's right to testify. If that's the thing that kept him off the stand, I don't know if the judge said, hey, he's not going to testify because of that ruling, right? I don't know if the record was developed enough for him to make this claim later, right? But that's what good trial lawyers do.
And the other issue the other thing I thought may be a problem is the whole playing of the 80-minute tape of Kelsey Harris when it wasn't going to come in, and I don't know if that's going to pose a problem.
So it's not that. So why it's not an appellate issue, why I don't see it as an appellate issue, is because the judge made a ruling that the shit wasn't coming in. He made a ruling. He gave them the ruling, and the defense violated the ruling, and they opened the door.
Right.
They opened the door. And so people understand in the rules of evidence, when the judge says, hey, I'm not going to allow this particular piece of evidence in. However, you can't then turn to the jury and try to sell that particular piece of evidence as something it's not, right? And Bad Medicine, what he did was try to say that tape was the prosecution trying to convince or persuade or whatever, persuade Kelsey to say these things. They weren't things she said on her own, right? And so now you put the prosecution on its heels and you put them in a position, you colored them in a negative light, and it's not true. So we have a fraud on the court. The court has an obligation to make sure, right, that the truth comes out, right? That's what the trial is about. Truth. It's supposed to be about truth. I don't mean to be facetious about that, right? And so the court has an obligation to say, hey, you talked about that 8-minute tape that I said couldn't come in, and you said X, Y, and Z about it that wasn't fucking true, and now I gotta let this shit in because you said the prosecution did these things, and that is not what is depicted on this tape. And now they get to put the tape in to dispute what you have said. So the appellate court is going to say that shit is fair comment.
Okay. Now,
that's in my opinion, right? I'm not a judge. I only been 20 years or so.
Right. And you've gotten people off murder cases. So, but let's talk about this immunity that she got from prosecution when during her testimony she got immunity.
Right.
Do you know why she got immunity?
Have no idea why she got immunity. Absolutely makes no sense to me why she got immunity. I don't know. I don't think they needed to give her immunity. They weren't prosecuting her for anything. She weren't facing any crimes, any charges that I'm aware of. I think it was just to be part of a spectacle, right? She wanted to make it look like she was not there willingly, right? So I want everybody to know that, you know, they made me come, and the only reason I'm here is because they're giving me immunity. Right? That's the only thing I could think. Otherwise, I don't think it's anything on the prosecution's side, because typically when a prosecution offers immunity to a witness, that's already done and in place before the witness comes to testify. And in fact, that has to be disclosed to the defense before the witness comes in. That doesn't happen in real time.
And to your point, it was real bizarre, you know, watching her leave her and her attorney while she was on the witness stand. They left the witness stand to go in the back to talk while we're sitting there waiting for her to come back in. It just I looked at the jury and they wondered what's going on. Why she got to keep on leaving? It only appeared like she was lying, or they had to feed her some information. What legal jeopardy was she in? I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, the only legal jeopardy she would have been in is if in her prior statement she had been sworn, and then she comes in to testify differently to a material fact. That's perjury, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe because she was saying, I don't remember anything, she thought that she was subjecting herself, because now she's saying something different than what she said before.
Okay.
In a video, maybe she thought, okay, I'm just gonna do, you know, the little Kim, because you know, little Kim went to jail when she said, I don't remember. Y'all, I mean, y'all do remember little Kim went to jail when she lied in the grand jury about.
That's right.
I don't remember. Okay.
She did a year and a day for that.
Exactly. So that shit don't work. That doesn't work. So maybe she thought, you know, I'm gonna end up like Lil Kim, so I need an immunity deal. I don't know. I'm speculating here.
Okay, someone's asked this question. You probably dealt with deportation, not you per se, but you might have clients that would have affected they might have been at risk of being deported. Any thoughts on the possibility of Tory being deported after serving his time?
Yes, absolutely. Get his ass up out of here. Yeah, he very likely will be deported. The assault is a deportable offense. ICE will be on that ass, but he gonna serve his minimum here first. And I don't know what the minimum is in California. Y'all can do the math on that. What's the minimum on 10? I don't know. What he gonna do?
85%.
5. So he's gonna do 8 and some change. And then
he has a year in already, almost a year in, so
he'll do 7, 6, maybe. I don't know. But then he will go to Canada. Go back to Canada.
Let me ask you a question. Iggy Azalea letter was read in the whole letter wasn't read, but an excerpt from the letter was read into the record in front of the public.
Yeah.
When she came out, I don't know if you're aware, she came out and said she didn't know that it was going to basically be made public.
I saw that.
Do you think that that's one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't come out and write letters in favor of Tory Lanez? And
no.
Do you think she was bamboozled into? Do you think she was bamboozled into writing the letter?
No, I think she legitimately didn't know. I think she thought she was doing that shit on the low, and nobody would know that she was secretly supporting, and she got outed.
Okay.
That's what, I don't think he had more support than Iggy Azalea. I'm sorry. I just don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Well, why didn't they write their letters then?
Right. Yeah, that's the question. Well, we know this. We're gonna have those letters, by the way. We should have those letters in the next 24 hours.
Tell you what the letters say? You want me to predict what the letters say?
Dear
Judge Hereford, my name is Tanya. I have known Mr. Lanez for 13 years. He has always been so giving. One time when I needed rent money, he sent me $3,500 and never asked for the money back. He has always been giving. Please do not send him to jail. He could do so much good in the community. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay. That was a well-written letter. You didn't send no letter in, did you?
I didn't read enough of them motherfuckers. I'm just saying.
Well, there are gonna be a lot of people There's gonna be a lot of people upset because those letters are gonna be read in this week.
I'm telling you that. I'm telling you what they all say. They all say the same damn thing.
Any advice for anyone facing charges like this right now? And I know every case is differently. How should they approach a case?
Stay off social media.
Okay.
Stay off social media. Do not discuss your case with anyone other than your attorney. Do not discuss your case on the phone with anyone, including your attorney. The phones are not safe. Okay. Depending on what jurisdiction you are in, you should know your case very well, right? Every defendant that I have ever represented, I have made sure that they have been an integral defense. Us in your out of 10, my real rights know, as Ray say. I wasn't there. And you probably was, right? Or you might have saw it and whatever may have you, but I need your help. I'm gonna need your assistance, right? So make sure that you are assisting your attorney. And listen, not a lot of attorneys are, listen, I know I'm built different. I'm built different, but you need to make sure that you can get an attorney you can communicate with, right? So that that hopefully they will believe you. Because I'm telling you, I've never won a case where I haven't spoken to my client and gotten information that was crucial to my ability to defend them successfully, right? So be a part of that. Be a part of that. All right, we got questions. You got questions? Questions?
Let's see. You have any questions on your side?
Do we have the same comments? I think we got the same comments.
Okay.
I don't know how to see different comments.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, anyone have questions? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the link and bring someone up to ask their question. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm dropping the link here.
I'm open up my Instagram because
okay,
I have.
I'm dropping the link here.
Neglected my Instagram people.
Okay. All right, so I dropped the link there. Click the link if you want to come up and ask the attorney, Ikiesha Al Shabazz, a question, or myself. Just come up and you don't have to get on camera because I know most of you are probably getting ready for bed. You probably got your scullies on or your scarves on or whatever. But you can come up and just give me some sound.
Me? That would be me. It's bedtime. I got golf in the morning.
Oh, yeah, golf in the morning. Wait a minute.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Wait, you got golf on the week? Wait, it must be nice on the weekday. It must be nice.
What's up, Instagram? Listen, we taking questions on YouTube. I jumped on Instagram real quick because I love y'all, really do. And I know y'all want to hear about Tory Lanez. And so maybe you all are already on YouTube. We've been on here. How long we been on here, Dennis?
Yes.
33 minutes. 33 minutes. I know I'm wrong. I'm dead ass wrong. I should have got on here. Yeah.
34. But I dropped the link here, and I'm actually live on Instagram as well. So I'll be taking questions on both ends. Well, I'm just actually okay. I just started my live over there. Let me ask you a question before we'll get back to Tory in a minute. Now, you are familiar with the whole riverfront Montgomery. I guess I don't know what I want
to. Hold on, somebody trying to join my live. I don't know if they are able to, but yes. Who didn't see the? First of all, let me just say, our paralegal Stacy did not know about the riverboat brawl today. Yeah, I was like, where you been under the damn jail? Where you been? How do you not know about this? Who is this on my live that don't have no face?
Well, we have Zion Williams right here. Zion, what's your question?
Zion, hi Zion, that's a nice name.
Thank you. I'm on the opposite side of you guys when it comes to this case. And this is particularly because I've taken sources from everything that's been said.
We're live on YouTube as well.
And I've listened to specifically what Sean Kelly has said. His description of the events versus the one that is publicly stated in the documents, are not at all the same. So my opinion on this case is, personally, I think Tory Lanez was foolish. Not that he's guilty, he's innocent, but he's foolish. He believed in God so much, he thought that he could just fool around because he's innocent, and God is going to get him away from this case, and he's going to be fine because he didn't do it. That's what I think. I think he was insane, because I would tell Sean Kelly basically stated, and then we can compare it to what Megan in the documents state every time they say statements of facts. So what Sean Kelly said, and I have the screenshots, is that he came out and he saw two women fighting, pulling hair, grabbing each other. Then he seen one of the girls get into the passenger seat. And when he saw them get into that, he said they were still fighting and one girl was kicking. Afterwards, he said he saw a flash, one flash. George, however, said, "Oh, was it a muzzle flash?" And he was like, "Yes, I thought it was fireworks, but I thought it was muzzle flash."
Okay, Zion. I'm sorry, Zion. Zion, what is your question? Just I don't want us to litigate the case.
No, I don't want to litigate it. I just want you guys to see the two disparities, and then I want to know. Like,
we saw that. So let me speak to that. Have you ever been a juror?
No.
Okay. So let me tell you something that happens when you are a juror. When you become a juror on a jury, you have to follow the judge's instruction, right? The judge is going to give you a set of instructions about how you are to deal with conflicts in the testimony. The judge is going to say things like, no two people will see the same thing, or some people can be in the same, have the same experience, but different perceptions of the event, right? I sometimes, when I'm in trial, I'll say to jurors, have you ever been to the movies with a friend and you come out and you think that was the worst movie you ever saw and they loved it? And you're like, were we in the same movie? Because two people can have a different reality, a different experience, right? And so what that witness you're talking about, Sean Kelly, saw from his perspective is what he saw. But that does not mean that the jury had to discount the testimony of the victim or the medical evidence or the doctor who testified that he performed an operation and took bullet fragments out of her feet. That does not mean the jury has to then disregard all of this other evidence that does point to his guilt, because you find some sort of discrepancy in the testimony. All right now? You all right now? We gathered that on up together.
Real quickly, Ike, I have Angela Stanton, former congressional candidate, on Instagram. Angela, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, what is your thoughts, Angela?
My question is, does the punishment fit the crime? And this is why I say that, because based off of Megan's own words, she said that she wasn't going to call the police. She wasn't going to press charges. She was going to let it go. And then also we had the situation where they were in the car and they were pulled over by the police, and she didn't say anything to the police during the incident. Now, I'm not here to debate whether or not what happened, but my question is, does the punishment fit the crime? 10 years, a decade is a long time for a situation where, yeah, he was wrong, but it's a bunch of friends drunk, acting up, and it went left. So you got a child out here that's going to be fatherless for 10 years. So when we're talking about criminal justice reform, reforming this system, reuniting our families, helping Black men, Black women, or whatever, the only question I have is do the punishment fit the crime? And I think 10 years is excessive.
You wanna speak to that?
I agree with you. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I think 10 years is absolutely excessive. However, he did this to himself because he didn't have to be facing 10 years. If that sentence, I promise you, and my predictions tend to be right. If the sentence memo had just an ounce of fucking contrition in it, right? Just an ounce of remorse, accountability, where he said, I did this, and you know what? Here are the reasons why I am impaired in my judgment, right? Because that's the nexus the judge was looking for. Help me help you. He didn't spend 2 fucking days just because I want to give this black man 10 years. He was trying. He was trying.
He threw Tory out.
I
He
think
threw
he was
him.
legitimately trying, and I think he would 5 or 6.
Okay. Before Angela, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Do you think that I hear you saying that time was too much. Do you think what do you think was a fair sentence for him?
Well, I think that maybe 2 to 5 years with some rehabilitation in place. I think that throwing them in a cage and just expecting them to be better when they come out only actually makes them worse. So he needs some anger management. I just hate to see, another black man in prison, man, for a decade. I mean, it's a vicious cycle that we have going on out here. And I think that we need to fix every end of our problems. We need to work with the men. We need to work with the women. We need to work with the children. And somebody, some people deserve to be in prison and need to stay there. But if somebody can be rehabilitated, then that's something that we should focus on.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not a proponent of prison, especially because of the reasoning that this particular country imprisons people, and because disproportionately this country imprisons people who look like me. So I am not a proponent of prison at all, right? And like I said, from this very thing, I feel bad for him because this did not have to end like this. And again, accountability is a thing. It's a thing. And you're right. She said she lied in the beginning. I stepped on some glass. She wasn't trying to send this black man to jail, right? But what did she get for that? What did he give her in exchange for that? His ass to kiss. And so she, I feel like he forced her hand. And even when he forced her hand, she still said, I don't really want him to go to jail. I just want him to be accountable. But, once you put this in the system's hands, all bets are off. You don't get to modulate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to do any of those things. All bets are off. You get to make your victim impact statement, and that's about it. But in her victim impact statement, what does she say? He still has not been accountable. All this time you've been sitting in jail since you've been found guilty in December, and you ain't find a way to get your lawyers to get to her lawyers to say, hey, this guy has got something that he wants to say to her.
Okay.
Some way. You didn't do none of that. You knew this was coming because all of those things, I think, would have been some sort of measure. The judge was watching your activities. He was watching you the whole time.
That's a fact. Next caller. Let me see who this young lady is. This is pro
woman.
Pro woman. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's just a clever play on words. It's not any kind of feminist declaration or anything. And speaking of that, Ike, couple things. I really hope I see you as a contributor on Roland Martin or on BET or somewhere. We definitely need to hear from you more.
Well, she's here with us today.
I was on Karen Hunter on Sirius on Friday. I'm out there. I just, I don't do a lot of the advertising stuff.
Hey, we're not promoting everyone else over here.
Okay.
Bro, what's your question, bro, woman?
Okay. Okay. real quick. You spoke to things a little bit, but if you could just break down the legality of, because I don't think Rihanna wanted to bring charges against Chris Brown either, but the state forced her hand. So explain what that legality is when you don't want to bring charges, but the state can force you to have to do that. What is that law? And I think that applied with Rihanna, and you can confirm whether or not that applied with Rihanna and Chris Brown as well. And also, your thoughts on, because so many people attached issues onto this case, the issue of black men and black women and black women not being believed. Speak to that a little bit more about how black women and black female victimhood is seen in the criminal justice system. And lastly, don't go to you're saying you were asking, he asked you some things not to do. Don't go on Vlad and don't go on DJ Academics, because Tory went on DJ Academic shows. Stay off of those shows, and you could even throw in what's been happening with Vlad.
Let's get the questions. Listen, what are you trying to do? You trying to put a
getting
target on my back? What are you doing over there?
Well, hey, I gotta keep it. This is a hip hop show, right? Gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it.
Hey.
I doubt you catch me on Vlad, DJ Vlad, or DJ Academics, or any of the like type shows. I'm not really about that. But to speak to your first point, the prosecutions are elective, right? So let's take a look at things like Jonathan Majors. Let's look at the subway case right here, the young Marine who choked out a young man. Look how long it took for them to charge that young man, right? So any charging decision prosecutors make is completely discretionary. They don't have to charge anyone. And so if they want to charge you, if they want to go after you, if they feel like your crime is, I don't know, maybe it could be public enough, it could be a high profile enough that they want to make an example out of you, then they will push your case through with an uncooperative victim. Now, what they can do with an uncooperative victim is that they can put them in jail. They can put them in jail under a material witness order until they are ready for trial. And then they can produce that person for trial. That's if someone is, want to play like they don't want to show up for trial. They lock you up for that.
And we've seen that in the Melly case where the mother was given an ankle monitor.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, she was given an ankle monitor.
She was a witness. She was a witness, huh?
Yeah, she was a witness. Absolutely.
Wow.
So Meg could have gone to jail if she didn't testify.
No. I'm not saying that. Every case is fact specific and fact sensitive, right? So if Meg had never made a statement, then she could have remained silent, and they would have had a very difficult time trying to prosecute that case without her. Now they could have still tried it, but the likelihood of success would have been so de minimis that they probably would have abandoned the task.
Right.
Right? They would abandon the case. Right? But that's if she had said nothing, or she had stayed with the I stepped on glass. Right? Because that's her first statement. I stepped on glass. Mm-hmm. She stayed with that. I stepped on glass. I don't know what you want to say. Something else happened.
And she explained it away as well. I don't know if she was satisfied with the explanation, but it was during the time of, George Floyd and obviously Ahmaud Arbery and riots.
It doesn't mean she wouldn't have stepped to her guns. Doesn't mean how many people that hold it down. Stop acting like we don't hold it down for each other in this community. When it happens, something happens, and I ain't see nothing. I don't know. Stop. People do that.
I'm sorry, Angela. What did you say?
I was saying that's for me, and I'm gonna just be honest. I don't understand that, and everybody is different. But I mean, if I'm in a car with somebody that's trying to kill me, and the police pull up, I don't know, I'm gonna be more scared of the police than the person that's actually trying to kill me. I mean, for me, it was just a lot of things. It's a lot, and I don't want to discredit anybody. I just want to know, how can we fix things? You know what I'm saying? Like within our community moving forward, because once it go before a judge, it's out of our hands. You know, how can we as a community try to come together with conflict resolution? And I mean, and yes, he should have been humble. He should have apologized, unless he really in his heart feel like he didn't do it.
But I think the phone call from prison and then the lack of contrition, where he basically said, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't drunk. Right. And then keep in mind, there was a tacky love triangle with Kelsey and him and Meg. Just tacky, just unnecessary. And I just really, there are no winners here. There are no winners here. It's a sad day all around. I just hope lessons can be learned. And I'm like, Angela, how can we fix this?
Yeah.
Well, I was obviously going to fix this with the time. You know, that's how they feel they're going to fix it. But ultimately,
it's a teachable moment, right? Because we have a lot of young artists that are, you know, out partying and having a good time. And look what happened in New York with the influencer who was giving out the PS5, and that turned into a whole disaster, right? Being couched as a riot and whatnot, right? So hopefully this is a teachable moment, right? That, you know, things can get out of hand very quickly. Life comes at you fast, right? And so, you know, maybe don't drink too much. Maybe stop drinking so damn much. Maybe don't have a gun when you're drinking, right? Maybe don't have a gun at all in your vicinity at all when alcohol is around, period.
Maybe don't be smashing two women at the same time and they're friends. How about that?
Oh, I can't expect too much, bro.
Hey, hold on, man. You can just tell everybody everything that they need to do. Hold on, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Okay,
all out of your lane, brother.
Hold on.
Now, victimhood.
What's up, Mike? Mike is in the building. Mike, what's going on?
Wait. I gotta answer the second part of the question.
I'm so sorry. Why you get me in trouble?
I'm sorry. I don't want to keep the sister hanging. She wanted me to speak on victimhood and maybe misogynoir, right? The term, and Black women not being believed in court, or Black people not being believed in court. And then this is historical, right? This goes back to the times when we were not even allowed to be witnesses in court.
Right. Couldn't
be a juror in court, right? You were not even a human being. If you go back to the case of Celia the slave, who was a slave at 14 and had been repeatedly raped and had children for the master, when she developed a love interest on the plantation and rebuffed his advances and ultimately killed him one night when he came in. And they tried her. She had a trial. She was the People versus Celia, a slave, right? And she was found guilty. And when there was an appeal, like, listen, she's a woman, and this was self-defense. She was being raped. You know what the response was? She's not a woman. She's a slave. She's not the defense of self-defense is not available to her because she's not a person.
Doesn't have personhood.
She didn't have personhood. So how do they see our victimhood if we don't have personhood? Right? This is historical. This is not new. She
is so right in what she is saying. And another part to that, I mean, it's so deep. I ain't even gonna make it no deeper than what it is, because I don't even want to upset nobody right now. But you know what's unfortunate? What's unfortunate is like a recent situation we had with the Carly Russell thing. You know what I'm saying? That's unfortunate. And we saw a lot of Black people in the community not wanting to hold her accountable. We already have a hard time being believed. Like you said, I already look at us as well, have looked at us in history, and we know this to be true. It's not even being a person. And I mean, and in many instances, still that right now. I mean, depending on how you look at it, because babies in the womb aren't looked at as people, and they're aborted. So I mean, and you know, a lot of the abortion clinics are in Black communities, so we're still up under that same stigma. And these people have not stopped their tactics to imprison us. They have not stopped their tactics to get rid of us. They've just changed the way that they do things. And I just would hope and pray that one day we as a people would learn to try to figure out our own issues instead of just giving us over. Because like you could putting a man in the cage every single day for 10 years just ain't gonna fix the problem. Like at some point, some of those men, y'all might as well just go on and execute them and get them on up out of here. They, by the time they come home, they're gonna be institutionalized. They ain't gonna be no good for their families. They ain't gonna be no good for children.
You're missing it though. Why they can't kill them. This industry is a business, right? It's a business, and they need the commodity. They need the bodies, right? Because you think about, there are 62 counties in New York. Think about the counties upstate. There are jails in every county. I don't even remember how many jails there are in New York State anymore. But they're in these little towns up there, and everybody works at the jail. It's the economic hub of the town.
That part. Can't forget that part.
Right. That's one thing. And then think about the service industry to the prison. Right? You got laundry, you got food service, telephone. That's millions and millions. Fucking JPay. Well, I got people out there, people locked up, locked down. You know, that shit adds the fuck up.
Yep.
And they making money off of it all. Hand over fist. They make money off the surcharges for locking you up in there. They make sure that your credit report is asked, because they're going to make sure you can't pay whatever surcharge it is. So there's a judgment on your credit report. Right? They know this whole shit is credit based. Why the fuck you think they care about the credit of somebody who is a convicted felon? Because this whole shit is fucking credit based. This whole shit. I'm gonna take y'all on some other esoteric shit.
Well, can I, just to Angela's point really quickly, and what the attorney's been saying, that Tory really did do this to himself. So he'll have, the whole penitentiary comes from the concept of being penitent or reflective. I think of the Quakers, or somebody had something to do with the setting up of the American jail system and something like that. But so is he going to really have time to really think about the error of his ways and really maybe humble himself in some ways with that time? Because attorney, you're saying he's going to do the time. I was hoping maybe it would get reduced, appealed or something, but you said you think he's going to do the majority of the time. So he'll have a lot of time to think about it, right?
Yeah, but it's not just for him to be able to, think about it. Prison has three main goals, right? One of them is deterrence. It's for other people to think about it. It's been shown that prison doesn't deter a motherfucker. If it deterred anybody, why would the prison population be growing leaps and bounds? Right? That doesn't. The other two are rehabilitation and punishment.
Has anybody been Okay, I have. Let me tell y'all, prison don't do none of that shit.
Exactly. That's my point. None of those things happen.
Prison does not do any of that. The whole prison system needs to be rehabilitated. I'm telling you, they ain't doing nothing but throwing them in there and locking them in there and throwing away a key, giving them money. Go out on the yard. There is no rehabilitation. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if prison is always the best answer. I mean, unless somebody is just a monster and need to just be completely removed from society.
Yeah, I'm not pro-prison at all. I think we should abolish prisons.
I know that
another way the criminal element, but that's just me.
Yep, that's true. I know that there are really strong prison ministries still out there. The Nation of Islam still has a pretty strong prison ministry. In fact, Malcolm X is a result of the Nation of Islam's prison ministry. So I would hope my nephew just got out of jail, federal prison, and he got his GED in jail. And I'm not defending the system at all. I'm just saying maybe there are some things in prison that are rehabilitative, and then is it what you make of it? Is it what you choose to do with the time? Can that factor into whether or not you come out really rehabilitated or a better person? I'm just
absolutely. All the time you will hear someone say, "Do the time, don't let the time do you." That's what that means. That means make it useful, right? In the best way you can. Make use of your time. Do the time, don't let the time do you.
Yep, and that's with whatever system we have. So there are just, there's some. I'm just trying. There's some kind of a silver lining. Of course, change needs to be had in the system. It's not working. I don't even think it's sustainable. I mean, look at the system, the complaints about the prison in New Orleans, the guy getting eaten alive by bed bugs in Atlanta. I mean, are you kidding me? How does that even happen in America?
And to your the question, the statement you just made, why aren't the judges factoring all the the conditions that exist in all these prisons and county jails? Why doesn't the judge? Or maybe they do, and I know that's corrections, but I mean, when you make these type of decisions as judges, knowing the condition of these jails, I mean, I don't know why that wasn't even an argument made. Like, even in this case, like Yana,
Right.
the conditions in these jails are just, atrocious.
Yeah.
What if that worked?
That's an argument to be made. It is an argument, especially if those conditions could exacerbate maybe a medical condition that you have, right? But those things need to be explored. If you have asthma and this is the prison that has a history of mold, and they have some sort of issues like that, then that could be a factor. But there are other prisons. They'll just move you somewhere else. They'll find a nice one for you.
We'll get you a clean one.
They're gonna find you somewhere comfy.
So
prison is not supposed to be comfortable. Just newsflash.
It's not supposed to be cruel. It's not supposed to be cruel and unusual as well.
It's not supposed to be cruel and unusual either. I agree with that, but it's certainly not supposed to be,
club fed
place where you're like, I don't mind coming back here.
So Mike shared with us the other day that he spent some time in the California State Prison. Tory is a level 2. What would his living situation look like to you?
Are you talking to me?
Mike, yes.
I did not say that. When did I say that I went to prison in California? Hold on, you put years on me, dog. What's up, man?
Wrong Mike.
You said, "Come on, Mike. Tell him about when you was in the joint, man. Tell him, Mike. Tell him what happened, man. Tell him what happened."
Mike said this early. Mike said this early.
Was there soap involved?
Mike, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to put that on you, Mike.
You got me up here. I was about to lie. I was like, "Yo, let me keep the show going." Hey, yo, it was mad. It was mad crazy, man. It was crazy. You wouldn't believe what happened. I wouldn't believe it either.
Mike, what's your question?
I had a couple of notes here. I just want to get everybody onto Amazon as soon as possible. The white chairs have gone up to $200. There seems to be a shortage of them. Everybody is rushing Amazon to get some white folding chairs. I have no idea why.
I got some already. I keep some in the house.
I keep that thing on me. You feel me? I got it in the garage. If you're trying to smack,
I got a black one too. I think I have a green one.
I use it for when I'm in the garage and I got to clean the spider webs up in the corner. But if you want to play, it can go down to the dock. That thing's portable. Don't you worry about it. Largely, I would like for Miss Ike, and I miss having you on the show. I wish you would answer me. My emails. There's about the 2-tier justice.
I'm so sorry.
and I'm that guy. I'm so sorry. Hip Hop Inquirer, my friend. Okay, no one can see our names because the comment is up. Like all of our name tags are gone. But Ike, if you could speak on the 2-tier justice system and people managing their expectations, which is your big phrase. Can you please? Because I mean, some people rioted and tried to, I don't know, smear shit on people's desks at the White House, and then they didn't get arrested for almost a year. Other people tried to get a PS5, motherfuckers started throwing bricks. They got in jail the same day. And now Tory Lanez is about to do his big numbers. He's about to hit the charts. So what can you maybe fill in some people on managing their expectations when it comes to these high profile cases? Because like sister said, she's like, he doesn't deserve to be in jail for 10 years for that.
Right.
Well, there's a recourse for things that we do versus things that other people do.
Are you're not going to answer your own question, are you?
No, she finna do it. she finna do it. You watch. Everybody sit back and watch.
The answer is the 13th Amendment. The answer is slavery, like Kenya Barris says. The answer is slavery, right? The criminal justice system was built to imprison Black people. Okay, let me just be as plain as I can about that, which is why there is an exceptions clause in the Constitution. They carved that shit out. They knew. They were like, listen, we got to make sure we got a commodity, man. Come on, we going to let them go. Y'all serious about that? All right. Okay, all right. Let's put in there that they free, but if they get convicted of a crime, they as a slave again. Bet? I bet, yeah, I sign on. Everybody sign on to that. Everybody sign on to that motherfucking shit. And they still signing on to that shit. They still signing on it. And where have the Black people been who have required that there be a constitutional amendment that takes out the exception clause from the 13th Amendment? Where's that? Where is that? I've been asking for that for a long, since way before there was a Netflix special about the 13th Amendment, right? So that's what allows for there to be this two-tier justice system, because that carve out is for us. Who else was a slave? Who else was a slave? Who else could it have been a reference for? The audacity of caucasity. That shit is powerful. Like, it's still to this day, that's one of the things about this country that I cannot accept. I cannot accept that part of the Constitution is still a living and breathing document. That shit hurts. It hurts. It hurts, especially somebody who swore to uphold that bitch.
Last thing, real quick, I'm gonna stick my last question in. What would you say about high-profile celebrities having a handler? What would you say about high-profile celebrities that have a handler that goes out with them to the club? It's the big bro. It's the wet blanket on the party. How strongly or weakly would you suggest that celebrities get these people?
Of that, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. If you can, somebody, and this is great, Mikey. Somebody should create that company. Someone should
shit.
Right, Mikey? There you go.
Hold on. Let me get on here.
Right? So you can call me up instead of calling Uber, and I'm gonna drive you.
I'm gonna get you.
Stay with you the whole night and bring you home. And you're gonna sign this piece of paper that says I have the last say in the decision making for the night.
They call that babysitting services.
Is that what it is, baby? I don't think it's called babysitting services. It's a lot more than that, right? Because some celebrities might need you to be armed.
Right.
You might need armed services. So, and it's not
to share
security because you want somebody who's gonna blend. I don't want you looking like a cop next to me, making me uncomfortable, making friends uncomfortable and shit. You gotta blend, right? So you need a particular type of person who's gonna be able to do that. Right? Who's a teetotaler, who's not gonna be in the back talking about, let me get a drink too. No, you don't get to drink tonight. You on duty, you working. You gotta watch shit. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I am. I've been a fan of that since what's the Nick guy who was at the club who shot himself in the leg? Plaxico Barris. Remember Plaxico?
That happened in Jersey.
I was like, what? Why? Why aren't you paying somebody to hold that thing for you, right? And be with you or do that. So yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Okay.
Fan of that.
Okay, on Instagram, I saw someone try to come up. Send your request to come up, and I can allow you to answer a question on Instagram because we're on Instagram as well.
I got a request too, so let me. You do yours, I'll do mine. Ludacris 20, you've been asking to come on. I'm gonna see if
bring them up.
I'm gonna bring them around. Bring them up. Bring them out. Bring them out. Let's see. I accepted it.
And guys on YouTube, I dropped the link in the chat. So
Chris.
They can't click that link because you're not the host. It didn't even post for us the comments up there, so everyone had to type it in. Ike's got to drop the link in the chat.
What?
Well, she's on Instagram.
Oh, Ludacris decline. Well, why you asking to be in? Why you asked to come here then? I'm on Instagram. No, I'm on. That was something else.
Yeah, that was on Instagram.
Regular comment.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if I see any questions.
Okay. Let's see here.
He said he would get at least 10. He said who? I said that. Don't do this.
Yeah, you said.
It's still like you shine.
Yeah. I didn't think that the judge was going to go the 13.
I got the text message.
The prosecution's request.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, anyone in the YouTube or they're on the board right now that you want to get up, I need to drop the link real quick here. I didn't drop the link. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, I'm dropping the link right now.
I will go after having been graced by all of you all's presence. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you all around.
Absolutely, and that is.
All right, nice meeting you.
Thank you, Pro Woman.
Yeah, never lose faith in my Black people. I think we're undergoing a course correction, realizing the error of our ways in a lot of ways and what's against us. And so I'm always going to bet on Black.
Hey,
absolutely.
Listen. I hope to see you at the next swim event.
All right.
Absolutely. Let's see here. All right, so I dropped the link there. I think I have someone on mute here. Hold on, let me bring him. Let me take him off mute. Okay, he's off mute.
Yeah, it won't let me on.
Okay. Okay, I took you off from mute, Mikey. And if you have a question on Instagram, you can ask the question. We have attorney Ikiesha Al Shabazz in the building. Say hello to Ike right there.
What's good, family?
You got a question for the top-notch criminal defense attorney? She's here. I can't keep her up too late. She has golf in the morning.
She be cheating at golf. I'm just saying. I be following her little story. She cheat.
I can count.
You cheat on golf?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't cheat. I can count. Look, some people I play with can't count, but I can count.
She be just rolling the ball in there instead of putting. I see it.
They don't ask how. They only ask how many. Instagram, y'all got any questions?
Okay, let's see here. Let me go back because I think I have someone here. I'm just scrolling back real quick. I'm on Instagram too.
People can't click that link.
No, they can't click that link because I have to actually read there.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's
if Ike puts it in the comments, it'll show up in the comments. But you'd have to make Hip Hop Inquirer a mod on your YouTube channel for that person to be able to post a link. So that's why you're hitting enter, like for real, you're hitting enter, but it's blocking it because he's not allowed to do it. There we go. Now it's up there.
I just tried it, and did that work?
Yeah, it works for you. Yep, it works for you because it's your channel. But if anybody else wants to do it, they have to be a moderator.
Okay. Well,
when Dennis started this mess.
I don't know. Well, we're gonna keep Mikey around for a while. We got our online tech guy here.
Hey, I've been trying to weasel my way into Ike's inner circle for about 1.5 years now, so I'm working there.
As long as you,
and I've been complaining that nobody don't help me, and it's just you're right. Damn,
I'm over here with the air horns like Michael Rappaport. Pew, 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 over here. Hey, lady.
I'm gonna hit you up when we get off here. I'm gonna send you my so you can call me. And we could.
That's why I ain't left yet. I'm like, nah, I'm making this connection today. We building the bridge today. After I seen homie swim across the whole lock system, I was like, oh, I gotta start hooking up with my people. We uniting right now. I feel it.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, sir.
It was like Wakanda forever in that joint. I was like, look at them all running. It's like slow motion.
So earlier today,
it made no sense, Banks. So I got a question. Did it make sense when he said I didn't do it, but if I did, I was drunk? You know, and that's the judge did not buy that. The judge specifically inquired of the attorneys, like, so you said that there's not enough evidence that he did this, but if he did, he was drunk. And so I'm trying to understand what the nexus is. And in fact, you know, we didn't talk about this when he asked that question. I believe it was Baez, the attorney. He's like, what behavior did the alcohol cause? And his response was yelling. He said yelling. He said yelling and like arguing with the women.
That was enough.
Yelling,
and shooting a gun.
Yeah, that part, right. That, you kind of left that part out, and I really think that if they had given this judge just a little bit of contrition, just a little accountability, he would have said, okay, 6, 5, you know, something that he could, that's more manageable. Since he's got a year in, you know, you do 2 more, you get out, something to that effect around there. You saw the co-defendant in the George Floyd murder. What's the one who was standing by? He got 5 years. Right?
Thou, 2 thou or something like that.
5 years, and he was just standing around. He ain't shooting nobody. He just failed to intervene. He just failed to act. He didn't do an affirmative act, and he got 5. Bedtime. You gonna do all that? We doing all those days. Bedtime.
Chaotic Truth just joined the live. Chaotic, what's your question?
Well, I don't really have a question. I wanted to talk about Tory Lanez. Is that all right?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Talk about it. What you want to talk about? You got a microphone and everything. But you got a little channel or something over there. What's happening then?
I got a channel. I just want to know that I just want to ask a question. Can I be very open and honest?
This is the
I
open
hope so.
channel. Yes.
Okay.
Take your time.
I used to be a probation officer. It was my first job out of college. It was a horrible job. I had it for a year. And I also taught in the inner cities for a very long time. Please don't kick me off the panel, guys. Please don't get upset. Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Got my finger on the button. Go ahead.
You know who David Attenborough is?
I do know that name.
Okay. He was the guy who did the voice in National Geographic. I've been like the David Attenborough of Negroes all my life.
Self-appointed.
Okay. Tell me if just let me know, guys, because I'm about to say some things that might offend people.
You're just self-appointed. I just want to qualify that. Okay. You're self-appointed, David Attenborough. But that's all right. Go ahead.
The most violent men that I've encountered in my life are black males, particularly darker complected black males, particularly short black males.
Oh, shit.
How do I know? Because I was a probation officer. I was a teacher.
And your sample size was how big?
Give me a second. Give me a second. I saw this in the elementary schools, the junior high schools, the high schools. I saw it in the jails. And I just see it in life in general. This aggression. The black man, not all black men, typically are unable to de-escalate situations They're unable to use logic and reasoning. They're unable to master the English language to even use the words to convey certain ideas. So if you're using Ebonics, which is broken English, which is typically negative words, it's impossible to say, hey, man, I messed up. I did something wrong. Hey, can we work together? It's impossible because there's no syntax in Ebonics or in street language. So with the inability to master English, with the inability to abstractly think, the Negro acts in a violent manner. I've seen it in the streets. I've seen it even in college.
Okay, so we.
Okay. See, well, give me. I'm almost done. Give me a second.
How much more do you need to say?
Give me a. This is why I asked if I could be open.
Okay,
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
You can't take over the platform, and
I'm not gonna take over the platform. It's just. I'm just gonna...
feedback. Okay, so you got about 30 more seconds.
Tory Lanez shot Meg Thee Stallion because he is a savage.
Objection, speculation.
That's pretty much what it is. And most black men are like that.
Objection, speculation.
Okay. So how long have you hated yourself?
You said I have 30 seconds, so I'm just gonna end it like that because.
But you can answer some questions. How long have you hated yourself?
Ma'am, I love myself.
You don't.
In fact, I love myself every night when I watch. No, okay, never mind. But no, ma'am, I love myself.
I don't think that you do.
Ma'am, I love myself.
And how versed are you? How versed are you in the history of this country? Because when it comes to violence, white men have been the most violent people on the planet, not just in the wilderness of North America. White men have been the most violent against every other person, even other what they call white people back then when they were the Irish, before they were white, when they were still Irish. So white people have been the most violent. First, let me check you on that. Secondly, the black man who is God, the black man who is a supreme being, the black man has been subjected to so much trauma in this country that he hardly recognizes himself. And you, my friend, are an example of that. You have so much trauma that in what you see outside of yourself, you have, this is your perspective. You have drawn that up. You have drawn that up that black men are violent. You were in probation for 1 year. Your sample size could not be big enough for you to draw that conclusion. There are no statistics that back up.
None whatsoever.
Nothing. None at all.
I'm surprised you were able to get the job with that type of.
All. And last, let's just say a couple other things about how we speak. African American vernacular, as you might call it, Ebonics. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with African American vernacular. And we are very able to not only communicate, black men are able to just de-escalate. Now, there's an example of it that was just on the internet the other day. Young black man entered into a yard. He had a gun. Anybody see this? And the homeowner came out with a shotgun. He had a bigger gun. And he talked to this brother. Somebody find that damn video. He talked to this brother.
That was a Tubi movie.
I'm sorry?
That was a Tubi movie. That was a scene in a Tubi movie. It was supposed to. Yeah,
it was a scene in a Tubi movie. What was depicted was that black men can communicate. I got 2 sons. They can communicate. So your small sample size is not representative. What I suggest to you is you align yourself with some melanated brothers who can show you and demonstrate the greatness that is inside of you, because you surely do not see it.
May I give a rebuttal now?
No, there's no need for that. There's nothing you could say to me. You don't have the tertiary knowledge You don't have the experience. You don't have the age or the wisdom.
He also doesn't
respond in any meaningful way.
He also
you
don't have any
does anybody disagree with me? Does anybody think that he has anything else that he could say that would be meaningful, helpful, enlightening, engaging, non-offensive? Anybody? Put a 1 in the chat if you think he has anything meaningful to fucking say. Because I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard a thing. Not a thing. And where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from America, man.
You are from here?
Where's
your from? Where your parents from? Where'd your parents immigrate from?
They're from America.
Yeah, I doubt that very highly.
Ma'am, I have a background in African studies, believe it or not.
So do I.
I didn't cut you off, ma'am. I thought I could speak.
Level of education? What's your highest level of education?
I have a master's degree. I have a master's degree in special.
Well, you got a degree in this and that. I have a Juris Doctor. I think I got you. Next.
Ma'am, I'm not trying to compete with a degree. A degree means absolutely nothing. You said that I don't have experience.
Why you mentioning it?
Because you said I don't have it. You said I don't have experience, and I do. Ma'am, I do have experience in what I'm talking about, ma'am. I'm from the Malefi Asante. Ma'am, I studied. Ma'am, I'm literally from the Malefi Asante tree. I have a bachelor's degree from one of the first Pan-African Studies departments in the country, ma'am. The director of the Pan-African Studies department was an actual student and got his PhD under Malefi Asante at Kent State. So I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying I used to have no experience. I have a hell of experience, ma'am. I'm also published as well. And I can tell you, ma'am, again, the black man is not God. If the black man was God and supreme, he wouldn't have been stupid enough to have gotten conquered 100, 200 years ago. The black man is dumb. The black man was walking on gold, walking on diamond, walking on rubber. I'm sorry, rubber was in a tree. The nigga didn't do nothing with it.
You got 30 seconds. Get him off. Get him off. Because one thing I'm about is protecting my peace. And this ain't where it's at, brother. Thank you. We're not doing that.
Okay.
We're not gonna do. We're not gonna do that.
He's out of here. He's out of here.
You're not gonna disturb my peace.
Right.
You're just not gonna do that.
That's his whole channel. I went and looked at his whole channel. That's his whole thing. Is shitting on black men in front of.
You're gonna be on a Republican ticket somewhere because that's the short fucking line. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Fucking coon.
His whole channel is just based on exploiting and making fun of black people. He claims to be a conservative, but
of course he is.
I mean, it's easy to get clicks when you're shitting on your own. They love that shit.
They love that. It's the short line.
Yeah.
Mikey, why did you warn me of entering troll? Let me
he was already in, and then I looked up his channel just to see. I was like, okay, let me see what brother talking about. You know, I like to make connections. That's why I'm trying to get to be Ike's producer.
I'm all for having people have their opinions, but I'm not here to celebrate them. I'm not here to help you dispatch them to the world. No, absolutely not.
He didn't have no legitimate questions about nothing. He just wanted to come on here and say, black men are very, very violent. He has no questions about the case. He just wanted to say black men are violent, and that was his point. And he said
and that's why he's banned from the channel. He couldn't follow simple instructions. With all those degrees, you couldn't follow simple instructions.
You got a master's and not paying attention.
Right.
You cannot take over the platform. You can't.
He came with the agenda that someone said over here on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah,
if you come up here with trying to troll my channel, you're banned from the channel. So he has no access to the channel anymore.
That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. The day after the Alabama Boat River brawl, that's what you got to say to us about white people and black people being violent. Who was violent on that goddamn deck?
How about that? Who gang attacked one black man?
Who was violent on the deck?
Right.
Who? Come on.
And honestly, it takes one look at the fucking statistics to see that the inordinate number, the number of black men committing crimes is percentage-wise maybe higher, but overall, Man, that jail is full of white folks who have beat up their girlfriends. And like when everyone says white people, white people, like they're picturing like a north side of Chicago and a brick walk up with like a fucking scruffy, you know, and the wife is a fucking butterfly therapist and she makes $1 million and the husband fucking sells stocks and he's a trillionaire. That's not all white people. Most white people live in trailer parks or in low income areas right alongside blacks. And guess who go to jail? Everybody in the low income area. So he didn't even factor for that. He just wants to shit on black people, but it's cool.
Yeah, we're not here for that. I'm definitely not here for that. With your little you work somewhere for 1 year. 1 year. You think you met enough people to be able to draw conclusions, but you need a class on implicit bias, you fucking idiot.
What city was he a probation worker in? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Were you out in fucking Omaha?
The city if you was dark skinned, you got violated. Oh man, he said the dark skin. That just was wrong.
Especially the dark ones.
Oh God.
Well, you know, the actors on the strike right now, and maybe he's trying to audition for something. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
I don't know. He could be asshole number one.
Okay. Right. That clip is clearly gonna go viral. I am almost confident about that.
Oh God. Here we go.
You'll start getting notifications in a little bit, Ike, where he's like, and then I own this liberal black attorney.
Was hot. Don't let it go by.
Watch this attorney go by. Watch her get owned by her.
Well, listen, here's a disclaimer. I'm flagging anybody who posts that clip. It's not fair use for education purposes because learn nothing from him at all.
Mr. Hip Hop Inquirer, you haven't asked Ike any questions. I'm not trying to let you off the hook though.
I've asked Ike a lot of questions. Where were you at?
I've been watching this whole time. You ain't asked nothing. He didn't ask nothing that he thought. He was just asking questions in general. You didn't ask no specific in your brain question. He been hosting, but he didn't actually participate and take his turn. So I would like for him to take his turn, please.
Okay, so let's see here.
How many subscribers do you have on his channel?
Excuse me?
How many subscribers that guy got?
1.3.
1.35.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, he might. He might
exactly. He's not getting any shine. We don't want anyone running to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, don't bother him. Don't bother him.
I don't want you to say his channel here. Please don't. And he can't comment in this section, so we're not gonna. He just worked to evoke emotions and try to. Okay. Anyone? Listen, I'm hosting it, so I think I asked a series of questions already, and it's getting late.
Stick to people just asking questions.
Yeah, that's it. I think she and I've covered this case from the very beginning, and I kind of got an idea on her thoughts on how the case has gone through since last year. I mean, I don't know how long you've been following the channel, but we've had some heated debates here, especially with our friend from New York, the conversation, the employment attorney. Haven't seen him in a while, but maybe Mo, where you at? Pull up.
Oh no.
Zion Williams, you've been quiet. Why have you been quiet? Because I had you on mute. Oh my God.
See, you gotta take the comment off there. You got his channel up there anyway. You gotta take the comment off.
Queen D1 on Instagram said, "I'm glad y'all got rid of him because any attention, good or bad, kept him relevant." Exactly, which is why he had to go. You deserve no airtime. No airtime.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. You just. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute.
How is he back?
No, hold on. That should not be there.
Remove it. That's you.
He's been our whole stream. What the heck? Okay, let me get him out of here. Hold
on. I'll be trying to help.
That was me putting the wrong link. That's why I told you I can't do it. I ain't even.
You gotta take help when it's offered.
Okay, I'm taking it. I'm taking it right now. Y'all hear me taking the help Mikey offering, right?
I'm trying my best, y'all.
I'm
Mikey, you had him. Mikey, you had him up there. What the heck going on here?
I had what?
You had him up there. How do you get up there?
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Mikey, what are you doing? You hacking the page that you're on right now?
I don't think I have that ability to put on.
I mean, Ike's right here. She taught me the 5 R's. Definitely not responding. That's one of the R's is responding. So that's not happening.
I'm getting killed. Mikey, you undefeated tonight. You undefeated.
Hey, I didn't even use my performance enhancing drugs. I came in here sober. I could have came in here high as shit and had y'all bugging up and been a total nuisance.
Oh my God.
We're not trying to get this channel flagged here now.
It's legal in Illinois. We finally did something right.
Well, it's not legal where I'm at.
Legal here too, baby. Legal here too.
I about to say you need to move, brother.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Any questions here on Instagram? If you have a question on Instagram on my page, please post your question or send a request to come on the live. That's on Instagram, and the link is
questions.
Any questions? I don't want to share the link anymore. I'm injured. I'm not sharing the link.
It's okay. You're gonna get some bad eggs. You just throw them out. Sorry.
Yeah.
they gonna show up.
I mean, he did give us a disclaimer. He kind of warned us, so we were.
He didn't warn us that he was going to come here and insult us and say the most egregious and horrific things about Black people. That
he didn't want. Yeah, he sure didn't do that.
Black people say.
He said, especially the dark ones.
Right. Especially the oh my God.
That ain't science, brother. That ain't compare no complexions with people. What you talking about? I did a study. You ain't studied. What you say? Oh, hold on. Let me hold up this brown paper bag to you. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, you go in that column.
Okay, I posted the link on YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram, you want to come on YouTube. We are live on YouTube as well.
All right, I can't do it.
I
think I have somebody coming on my Instagram.
Okay, bring them up.
See. All right, I'm trying to get them. I accepted it. That's all you gotta do, right? You hit accept.
That's it. Yeah, they gotta pull up.
You gotta pull up. I hit accept.
Bro said, not the short, dark ones. Them the worst ones.
I sent you an invite.
There's no help phone.
Yo, God. I don't know. I can't get you on. It's not working, y'all.
He had the nerve to say that.
We are on at least 3 platforms right now, and
yes.
Okay, I just sent a.
It says unable to join. It says you're unable to join. I don't know why.
Well, tell them to go on YouTube, go on Hip Hop Inquirer, and then just send a request from YouTube.
Come to my YouTube page, King.
Right, Ike has to post it on YouTube, because if you post it, then the link doesn't show up and no one can click it.
So she could just tell them.
My page.
Tell them come over here.
To watch it, yeah.
Yeah, come, and then once they see the chat comments, they could click on the link. No.
Right, but the link's not there because all of his, Mr. Dennis Byron, all of your links are being blocked by YouTube because you're not a moderator, so no one's getting those links.
This is terrible.
Why is my links being blocked? And it's my stream.
Nobody.
This is on her channel, so it's looking for attorney Ikiesha Al Shabazz. It's looking for her to post links and only her to post links. So if anybody else does it, it just blocks it. Like if a bot came in here trying to post porn or something like that, it'll block all those links. It doesn't know that you're not doing that, so it's blocking you too.
Okay.
Let me see.
Tiny, so who does
StreamYard allow me? Okay.
Who doesn't get that smoke, Tanya?
That's clear. Say what now? Oh yeah. Hold on.
Okay, no, they are not. I see Dennis. Okay,
Let
Andre.
me open.
Let me see. It's down. I don't know why.
Oh, is it on his? Are you streaming on both channels?
I'm down. I pulled my channel up so I can find it. Oh,
Oh, okay. So they're showing up on your channel. I just followed you, by the way. They're showing up on your channel, not on Ike's. That's the disconnect. So if Ike's people want to see it, Ike has to post it.
Or they can just come to my channel. That's
There you
all.
go.
Just come around to my channel.
Swing by,
yeah, feedback.
like the video.
Right. Just come on my channel. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, on Instagram, we are live talking about the sentencing of Tory Lanez, and I'm joined by attorney Ikiesha Al Shabazz, as well as Zion Williams, Mikey from mine.
Oh, it's famine. It's
Famine. And
Mikey, can you see the link now?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Let me. All right.
Yep.
You did it. I'm proud of you. You did it.
Okay.
How did you hack my page? What did you do?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Asking too many questions.
All right. So if you go to my YouTube channel now, you'll see in the comment section, I posted the link. If you want to come join this conversation, come join. We're gonna be on here for about. I got golf in the morning, man, and it's all the way far. It's like an hour drive. So I got about 10 more minutes.
Are you heading towards the Bronx?
No, we going Suffolk,
Okay.
out east.
Okay, wow.
Out east.
You're going to the good course.
Fucking Long Island over there.
The nicer courses, yeah. The nicer courses are further out a little bit.
I lived out there for about 6 months.
Oh yeah?
It's terrible, man. I'm from the Midwest. Like I'm from St. Louis, but I live in Chicago. Man, New York, y'all ain't shit. I had to bring my ass back to the normal place because I was like, these people so fake. These people so crazy.
Why?
Y'all so not normal. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all all crazy. Y'all all buck wild. All of y'all are buck wild. I thought it was just where I was at. It's all of y'all. Y'all crazy. I have to go back to where it was called.
Not all of us. This is some same ones. I'm not one of them.
All the short dark ones was all the short dark ones was extra.
Oh my God. All the knowledge seed ones. That's the knowledge seed. Peace to the gods and earth. Peace to the 5% nation of gods and earth. Because I had to represent from a fam tonight. Trying to come through. They are not seeing Dennis's link. Okay, Andre, I put a link in on my channel also. There we go. Like he said, there we go. So maybe.
And you can send him the link.
Should I put it on Dennis's channel? No, that wouldn't.
It's the same.
It's already there. The link that I sent you. The link that I sent you, Ike, you can send that to anyone.
I sent that. I put it on on YouTube.
Okay. So you can actually send it to that person directly, and they could come on.
Oh.
That same link.
Do I have? Well, I'm gonna have to close out Instagram to do all of that.
So, Ike, I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is I don't want you to get in trouble, but if you were to pretend in a made up scenario that has nothing to do with this earth or timeline, and there was a guy called Tory Drive, and he was your client and he did similar things, what would you have instructed him on in the interim? Like, how would you have had him proceed versus what he did?
Oh, he would have done none of that. He would have not had social media. He wouldn't have posted. He wouldn't have made no songs about her. He would have been her best friend. He would have gave her everything she needed. He would have been there to wash her feet. He would have been there when the doctor,
Why you put the emphasis on the eat?
Right. He wouldn't have said, nobody never say nothing bad about Megan. That's how he would have been. That's if he
okay.
For real. We would have been friends with Kelsey. We would have had barbecues together.
Well,
It would have been nice. Would have been nice.
Yeah,
We
well,
would have
that kinda-
resolved that shit
that didn't work out.
the system. We would have resolved it without the system.
Okay.
Okay, you got medical bills. He's responsible for those. Pay her. You got pain and suffering. What you need? Pay her.
That part.
Yeah, that's it. Listen,
He
everything doesn't have to be resolved in the criminal realm. Oftentimes, people resolve things between themselves.
Say that again for the people who are.
Oftentimes, people resolve things themselves. We can do that. There's no prohibition against that. If I harm you in some way, you could say, you know what? I ain't gonna call the police. My daddy used to do this. My daddy used to do this all the time. We walking somewhere. Let's say we walking somewhere. Somebody car hit him, right? Even if that shit ain't hit him, he gonna act like it hit him. He gonna be like, you hit me with your car. I ain't gonna call the police, but I'm gonna need $50, right? I'm being hyperbolic, obviously. However, in reality, in real world time, we can affect that. We can do that, right? We have to be willing and able to have that sort of progressive approach, right, to crime. If somebody has wronged you, bring them to me. Let's work this out. All right, this is how we used to do it before this. You owe me 2 mules now, motherfucker. Right, but whatever it was, there are other ways than making the prison industrial complex rich. We can resolve things on our own.
Andre Carr. Well, that doesn't look like an Andre Carr picture. So can we please speak about how he bloggers her paid taunted her for? Well, I don't know who got paid. I don't know if there was a organized.
I don't know who was paid, but we know that there were a number of bloggers and at least one attorney who, in my opinion, since everybody want to be defamation happy, in my opinion, was deliberately giving false information about this trial, false and or misleading information. And I had a heated exchange with one of them. Right, Dennis, you remember that? I had a heated exchange with that attorney because he was deliberately giving out misinformation in the public. Right, so that's a huge problem. Now the judge, he made reference to the fact that during the course of the time, I believe from Megan, the reporter's article, I believe the judge talked about this campaign. Right, either the judge mentioned it or Megan Thee Stallion mentioned it in her letter, but I think the judge also took note of
Megan referenced it in her letter as well.
Did the judge make any reference to that type of campaign with the media campaign, the onslaught, anything like that?
I don't remember that, but maybe Megan will
okay.
Because I was in
I thought I heard that, but I'm not sure. But I could see the judge, considering that, because there's no accountability. You're not even sorry for all of that.
Or someone said that's speculation. I mean, yeah, because we don't have receipts. Like Whitney said to Wendy Williams, show me the receipts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm reading the article. I wasn't there, so everything is secondhand at this point. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
And don't people have a legal recourse for when people do?
Okay, Andre said the prosecutor spoke about the paid bloggers, and Tory's lawyers did not deny or refute it. Well, yeah, silence is good. Sometimes acquiescence.
Oh, hold on. For Pam. Okay, so Pam said the judge did reference it per Pam. Oh, okay.
See? I know that there's somewhere. I heard that somewhere.
Well, that's not good.
Couldn't be me.
I mean, let me ask you.
I'm about to sign off on Insta because my arms hurt. Because I gotta sit here.
You ain't got to stand, girl.
Hold on.
No, don't judge me. I actually have a stand, but it's a little There's probably no space on this thing.
Hey y'all, I need y'all to go ahead and like the video. Make sure you share this all over the place. Get Ike some attention so she can get some money for this damn channel, so she can buy the basic essentials that her channel freaking needs. You can't hold your phone the whole time. You've been going for an hour and 49 minutes. You gonna hold your phone all night?
I got guns though. Look.
Why don't you know better? Why don't you do better? Damn. I know you working on your biceps. That's part of your workout regime.
That's the workout. See,
that's what the Jussie Smollett trainer put on the paper for you to do. Hold your phone out extended for 45 minutes.
But if she doesn't do well tomorrow, she's gonna blame us because she didn't.
Right. She's like, Mikey had me holding the phone.
I'm blame y'all.
My backswing has a hitch in it because my arm is cramped.
Right. Gonna blame y'all. I'm blaming all of y'all tomorrow if I have a bad game. Money on the line.
All right. We are losing numbers over here on Instagram, so I'm going to end this, ladies and gentlemen, on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in, and this stream will be on. This stream will be on our subscribers section. So I'm ending my. Okay, wow, we had over 500 people over here on the YouTube.
Awesome.
Not YouTube. Excuse me.
Idea.
Instagram. Let me just say this. Both Tory and okay. See, what are we talking about? We talking about the blogger lady. Why are we doing that? I vow not to talk about the blogger lady.
The blogger lady. We're not talking about none of these people.
No, we're not doing that. Let's see. I can agree with that comment.
What is that?
About choosing attorneys.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? Both times chose some bad lawyers. Yep. I agree. They absolutely Tasha K, and she's still making bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
She better get her life.
I'm posting this real quick, ladies and gentlemen, and YouTube. Any questions? Please post your questions right now because we are going to conclude this live because she has to get up early, and so do I. I'm sorry. I'm going to post this real quick.
I send Mikey some things. Let me find your email right now. Right now.
Okay. See here. Let's see here. Let me take that down.
Oh, that was back in June. I don't got no more emails. I don't see no more emails from Mikey. Only got that last one we did when we was on Twitch. Oh, wasn't we on Twitch? We was on something.
You get on Twitch?
I'm sorry. No, I think when I wasn't I on with you once?
Not on Twitch.
No, not you, Mikey.
Mikey's frozen.
I don't have it, Mikey.
Oh, I muted it because the dog was barking. I muted it. My bad.
Okay. Just mute the dog. You don't have to mute the stream.
Oh, I'm about to mute that dog in about 30 seconds. He'll shut his ass up. It's the same neighbor who closed his car door and he want to wake up the whole neighbor. Bro, he allowed to close his door. He can't leave the door open all day because you want to bark. That's crazy. Unreasonable is what that dog is.
All right, Mikey, send me an email because I don't have it. I don't have nothing.
Okay.
I just searched you and I don't have nothing.
Okay.
I
got
you. Too. All right.
It's okay.
Well,
what's that? Popped up right into my contacts. Ike, speak. Okay.
Okay, so if Andre Carr says if his lawyer didn't refute it and the prosecutor and judge referenced it, I believe them over Tory since he was a proven liar. Okay. I can accept that statement as opinion. I mean as It's fact. Because I guess the judge did. He didn't say he didn't believe it.
So, Ike, can you speak on that? Because a lot of times people think like what they see automatically comports to what the jury sees. Can you kind of go down kind of like how evidence appears differently to a juror than it might be to somebody who's getting like, you know, the end of the week wrap up from some kind of collective like consolidated news stores. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that
Sure. Yeah. So because we are out, you know, we're watching social media, we're seeing everything. We're seeing all of the backstory, commentary, we're seeing sidebars, we're seeing hearings, things that jurors are not privy to. Privy to. It's getting late. I'm tired. The jurors are not privy to, right? And so when we start drawing our conclusions, we are taking all of these things into consideration that the jurors do not have and are not allowed to consider. So even if a juror was to go home from trial and watch one of these lives or read something in the paper, the court, remember when I talked about instructions? The court gives you an instruction that you're not to consider any of those things, anything you see or hear outside of the evidence in this case. And jurors are the gatekeepers, right? So it's 12 of you in there. You think you're going to be one juror who comes in here and you're like, listen, I was reading the paper and they said every juror is going to drop a dime on your ass because they scared. They all scared, right? They scared to do something wrong, even though there's nothing you can do wrong as a juror. You are volunteering your time, right? The only thing wrong you could do is not follow the instructions. And so if you do that, you will not be on that jury long. Okay, so jurors don't tend to do that. Even if they do look at stuff, they're not telling nobody that they looked at that stuff, right? And so that shouldn't factor into their deliberation. So oftentimes what we see is a jury who has had only a portion of the evidence that we have seen. And we're like, how the hell did they arrive at that conclusion? Well, they had a different set of facts to consider than you did. You had, you know, there's a lot of things that jurors are not allowed to be presented with. There's some evidence that is kept from them. If the evidence is too prejudicial, it might be kept from them. We saw that with maybe they thought the 8-minute video was too prejudicial of Kelsey, whatever the case may be. But there are times where the judge is the gatekeeper, right? And making sure that you know, only the evidence that's presented at that trial is considered. And so yeah, it's gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Before we go, Ike's thoughts on the riverboat charges. All right, so Riverboro, I had to disclaim because obviously I'm not an attorney in Alabama. But from what I can see, there should be no charges. God damn it, right?
No
because
nobody.
No, not. Hold on, because I'm only talking about the black people. There should be no charges for the black people because they were responding in defense of another person, right? Now, there might be some attenuation, and attenuation means that there was a break in the action.
Yeah,
I don't see where
there was a break. Yeah, that's why I said there might be some attenuation, meaning there's a break in the action, meaning that. So if we're talking about defense of others, if the threat has abated, right, then you are not then defending others anymore. Right. Now you are exacting punishment, right? Which some people might argue was deserved. I don't condone violence. Like everybody who shared that video was like, I don't condone violence. I don't condone violence either. But it could be defense of others. Obviously, assault could be a potential charge. I don't know if they have like breach of peace, disorderly conduct. I don't know if there were kids around, maybe, you know, endangering a minor. There were weapons involved, possession of a weapon with intent to use, possession of the chair Could be possession of a weapon. Anything could be a weapon. It doesn't have to be something that's fashioned just for the purpose of a weapon, like a gun or a knife. It could be a pen or a pencil. If I stab you with it, then I stabbed you with a dangerous instrument, right? So it could be, possession of a dangerous instrument, possession of a weapon. It could be a myriad of charges. Nobody seemed to be really, really hurt, right? So it doesn't look like there should be felony level charges, because that requires like serious physical injury.
Hospitalization.
Right? Hospitalization, some extended
surgery,
pain, suffering, stitches. You can't walk for a couple weeks. You got eye socket that needs operation. Serious, what we call serious and protracted impairment. Y'all making me quote damn statutes and shit, but that type of injury, I didn't see that. But again, I'm sure
we heard there was a press conference today where you saw the press conference?
I missed it.
Okay, so the chief announced that 3 white defendants will be in charge with aggravated assault, and I believe the 3rd degree, and they were looking to talk to the brother with the chair. They just want to talk to him. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that chair though.
No, I don't know. Ike, I don't know what you think about them wanting him to come in just to talk to them. What do you think about that? What would you tell him to do?
You have the right to remain silent, brother. I don't know where you are, but I hope you see this. You have the right to remain silent. We don't speak to police. Nothing good can come of it. I've said that many times. I will say it again. Do not talk to them. They got a video. What the fuck they need you for? What you gonna say? You think you could talk yourself out of some shit? No. Don't talk to them. Get a lawyer. Get a good lawyer, right? And keep your mouth shut. That's my advice to the guy with the chair, because the woman was down, and there's an argument that she wasn't a threat at that point, but maybe he saw a different perspective. Again, perspective, right? So, but that needs to be communicated from his attorney, not him. His attorney needs to say, "Hey, this is the defense that he," you know what I mean? Not him.
I would definitely send an attorney down to the police station. I'm not going.
Right.
I'm
not going to the lion's den. What the hell?
Right. They want
right. No, that's not gonna happen. Or at least that should not happen. He should know. He should be smarter than that. But I expected at least 2 of the white guys to be charged, because it's clear that they are the initial aggressors, right? It's clear that they're the ones who started the fight, threw the first punch. At least the initial physical aggressors, right? Because some people might say, well, they were responding to him unmooring their boat and pushing it out or whatever. I think there was an argument that he might have undocked their boat and started to push it out, or that's it.
The boat wasn't supposed to be there. Law and order, remember? Law and order.
Even if you get that, that's not an appropriate response.
I have to go. I have to put drops in my eyes, and my eyes is really bothering me right now. So I appreciate.
Time to go. Oh, you telling me I've been trying to get off this thing for a minute now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you. I really do. Everybody.
Thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate it.
Email, and, Mikey gonna help me get to talking to y'all more often. We're gonna do something.
Yes.